check, are we allowed to talk about Tony's herpes, or is that off subject before we go live?
I think we've just gone live.
Oh, have we? I apologise, Tony. Everybody ignore what you just heard.
I got them from you, Curry Kitten.
You wish.
Oh, wow. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Drone Out. This is episode 236, and this week we have Curry Kitten.
Hello.
We have Tony.
Bonjour.
We have Andy.
How do?
And I'm Frank. And it's /Andrew/ whatever you want to call me this week. Come up with a new name as you feel like it. Yeah. The chat has already tuned into the fact that we're all doomed.
Why are we doomed?
Oh,
I've got a song out there. Type Andy RC doomed. I was well ahead of the game there.
Well, I imagine you've had plenty of time to practice, right?
Practice what?
Your guitar. What with nothing.
Yeah,
coming
funny
through.
enough, actually. Yeah, I've got. Oh man, yeah. I've been playing a lot of guitar recently. Actually, I'm probably spent about 3 months on this live. I say live. It's going to be 4 or 5 me's, which is why no one's going to understand this. But Wayne? Can you hold up what you were holding up earlier? And maybe
My telephone. You want it to play noises?
Yeah, give it a demo.
What the hell?
He's doing the LDO theme tune. They got it pretty good, pretty close.
Jesus.
Things you can get from Japan.
How did you end up with that thing?
I got my mother-in-law to get it for a Christmas present, and then she got annoyed because it took ages to come from Japan.
Oh right, okay. So you actively knew about those things and seeked it out.
I saw them in other YouTube videos, and I was like, "That is a stupid-looking thing, and I want one." And yeah, you can order them directly on Amazon, but they everything ships.
Well, no one's
from Japan.
We're all boycotting Amazon, aren't we? Nobody's buying anything from Amazon.
What? Because they're taking over the skies?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
is that actually what's happening? Is that what they've said, the FAA? Why they're doing this shit?
I've no idea. I don't know what's going on.
Been mentioned quite a few times. But if you've got money to burn because you can't buy anything from China and you're trying to avoid paying Amazon, then you can now give all that money to people who will put our logo on things. So if you go to letsdroneout.com and click on shop, it will take you to a shop that sells LDO gear.
Woohoo!
And you can make your own as well and put it on mugs or whatever else you can come up with.
We should give Curry Kitten some credit for that. I think he's been working very hard on that. I think.
Absolutely.
Well, we eventually got it going after much nagging. There's other things that need to be nagged about. Like Frank owes me 3 vocal samples. He has to say like 4 words into a microphone.
Oh, that's to do with it. That's to do with the game, though, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, same difference. Frank held me up on the shop as well. Frank's been very bad lately. Been like the anti-Frank.
So I can get a white T-shirt now.
Yeah, you can get a purple T-shirt if you want.
What you can order ad hoc things. I can't believe I used the word ad hoc.
You can't order ad hoc because I think we have anyway. We've restricted what you can order at the moment is down to T-shirts and hoodies, and I think I put a beanie on there. But you have a choice of colours, and the only colours I crossed out were the ones that looked really, really bad because the logo sort of disappeared into the background. But if you really want, purple with the logo or horrible red or orange colour, you can do that. If you really want.
I want a hoodie, right? Because I love the Let's Drone Out hoodie with the big logo on the back, but then underneath, so it says Let's Drone Out, and then any good to you? ? I think that'd be a great design.
There is, as well as the kind of the stock items that are on the front page of the shop, you can click on customize, and then you can pick all sorts of things, and you can add your own little text. Because I've ordered myself a mug that says.
Oh, you can. I thought we had to do that for them, but they can do it. Can they?
Or at least I've ordered myself a mug that has the LDO logo on it and says Frank on it. So that's turning up.
Oh, brilliant.
Hey, I'm going to order one today.
Someone just ordered something. Hooray.
Brilliant.
So yeah, you can buy some LDO gear from letsdroneout.com and clicking on the shop.
It's top
Cool.
quality stuff as well. I've had mine ages, and it's like it's brand new. It's been washed a bunch of times as well.
I think Win just says he's just ordered a hoodie.
Oh man, the hoodies are awesome. My favorite thing. Yeah.
Cool.
When the boiler broke, I slept in it. Too much information.
Not enough.
But
So
there's been
race-
excitement this week, hasn't there? Oh, sorry, I was just going to go on and say Frank actually went away and flew stuff in a place where it wasn't like raining and blowing a gale all the time.
On Saturday, I was in shorts and t-shirts.
You shit.
Yeah, Tony was in just his pants, I heard.
Pretty much a weekend, to be fair.
Bastard.
But yeah, it was definitely a good weekend. So flew out Friday morning out to Costa del Sol and spent a few days down there with Fraser from the chat and George from the Wormwood Scrubs, where I go and fly near here. And yeah, we spent the weekend out there in this villa, and I got to drive an electric smart car, which was fun.
In smart car owned by is it Mercedes that owns smart car? One of them, like the little thing.
A smart 4.2.
They look like a shoe, but
yeah,
car.
just like a tall, like a tall thing. But
No, they're making up.
Essentially like a Lego brick, isn't it? That you
I
can
didn't
see.
know they made an electric version.
I didn't know they made electric ones of those either, but I drove one, and that was fun.
Cool.
And then
I drove a golf cart once. I bet it's similar to that.
oh, it was more fun than the golf cart. I've done golf carts as well. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, Frank wins on his EV excursions.
Yeah, I've driven multiple
Flying electric,
driving
electric.
So
Smashing stuff
it
up.
looks like you found some bandos and things. What was the flying like? Because I saw bandos and then I saw a broken quad. Was that about? Hopefully that wasn't the first one.
I knew a few bandos before smashing it up, but yeah, it turns out not only is south of Spain far south enough that the weather is lovely, but also due to some quirk of planning permission, where they retrospectively cancelled about 3 decades worth of planning permission.
This happens so much in like Spain, Malta, places like I went. You go to Malta. Malta must be the best bando place ever. Is probably one of the dustiest places I've ever been. Also, but like just like as you were saying. Sorry to interrupt, but they.
Huge numbers of these buildings that have been built up and then ready to have, all the water and electrics and all of that kind of fitted, but the planning permission has been cancelled, and so none of the utilities is allowed to be installed. So you've just got these buildings that are basically finished.
They're all English people's houses that got denied.
Well, English there's a huge number of nationalities down there, because it's just a lovely place to live. There's just a huge number of buildings that have been partially built or mostly built and then just can't be finished. So there's just bandos everywhere.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And also there's definitely not like a hatred of drones down there, because as Curry alluded to, I had a bit of a misfortune at one of these bandos. It might be something to do with the high voltage pylons that were going past. It might be something to do with the massive mast with all the microwave dishes on that we saw when we turned around when I took my goggles off, because I was flying around and then all of a sudden I didn't see much and throttled up because I thought I was just behind the bando, and so I punch the throttle to get above it.
Who landed in front of you?
But then
we've got Jack waiting in the poo bin.
I'll add him. There you go.
Oh, we've got to take it away again.
Hello, gentlemen.
Is
Your conversation makes for quite interesting listening.
What the hell? Why aren't you? You can't.
Why aren't you at your game thing?
Why are you bunking off silver making?
The old insides, guys. As you can see, that little orange light, that is my washing machine that had to go on. And I would have joined you in time to start the show if you wanted me, but it was whizzing around. So I was like,
just got your pants in and that's it.
No. It's got other stuff as well, But yeah, I feel horrendous.
That's awful, man.
I think I need a long, hard chat with our DRC because I've been a little bit down. I thought I'd hope that you guys would let me on because you guys would always cheer me up. So
what do you mean let you on? It's your bloody show.
Well, that's our show. Come on.
Well, you don't want to chat with me because I was going to ask a question today.
Have we had the disclaimer?
I was going to ask a question today, and I was worried it might offend you, so maybe I won't ask it now.
No, Jesus, what sort of question is that when you're worried about it offending Jack?
Yeah, I know.
Can someone explain what the toilet?
Fuck your mum?
Can someone explain what the toilet paper thing has happened today? Can anyone explain it, please, to me?
I don't know what it's called. Jack went and stocked up or something.
No, because of this coronavirus, there was something about people have been stockpiling toilet paper or something, and Aldi have been like rationing.
Probably because everyone's got to stay in probably in the next few weeks.
Yeah, but why toilet paper?
Well, if you can't go out, what are you going to wipe your butt on?
Okay, if none of you guys know, someone in the chat explain
one of the
toilet
YouTube channels I watched abroad in Japan.
I got mine.
It's you. Yeah,
it was Tony.
Yeah, Tony's got that many. Tony's got that many because of who's downstairs and what he's been up to at the weekend, though.
Yeah, there was some rumor in Japan that all toilet paper was made in China and it wasn't going to be there. So everybody in Japan went out and started going through like supermarkets and getting it all in. But that's not even true because toilet paper can be made in Japan as well and is. So perhaps a similar sort of rumor happened. It's like, you won't be able to buy toilet paper.
Here we go. Drone Racer. The factories that made TP are now making masks, so no TP soon. What?
Oh, yeah. So the factories that make toilet paper are now making masks. So there's going to be a bit of a backlog on making toilet paper.
I just woke up this morning and everything was about toilet paper, and I was like,
"What is up with my hair, man?"
I was like, "Is this going to affect Jack?" I'm like serious. I'm like, what? I was worried because this isn't a joke. I'm like, if this is a thing,
I mean, they can't ration meat for it. You know what I mean? I eat the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Cruel. That'd be like, rationing bloody wheelchairs. No, you got one leg, you can't have one. I
was going to say, generally wheelchairs are rationed out as one per person that needs a wheelchair. Having more than one wheelchair seems a bit greedy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
anyways, we interrupted Andy telling us about his FPV love weekend.
Yeah, let's get back on.
So Frank was on FPV Love Island.
Disclaimer, because there's a very controversial show at the moment, Love Island, as it is.
Is it?
Really?
I thought it's only still like that. Anyway, any views expressed by any guests on the show are personal and may not reflect the views or host or any participant of the show.
Sorry, Frank. Tell your story
here.
Yeah, so we've managed to get ourselves up into the mountains. So it was a bit cooler up there. It was, you know,
Did it,
only like 19
did it-
degrees instead of 24,
did it-
but you know.
Oh,
it was,
my heart bleeds.
Did it
But
break
it was
your
still-
back while she was climbing those mountains? Sorry.
But it was still, you know, blue skies, very nice.
I haven't seen blue sky since September the 21st.
That's because you've been in that bed, Tone, ever since
Shut
then,
up.
isn't it?
Oh, look, I'm wearing a t-shirt of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And my Andy RC
It
t-shirt.
didn't have a big spot when that picture was taken in 1980. When was it? 5? Can't remember.
I'm talking over Frank. Just
Sorry.
Sorry, Frank.
Yeah, so we've driven up this lovely little windy road up the mountains and got to this banjo up the top of the mountain where apparently all the kind of like new cars, all the, you know, Top Gear and that lot, this is where they come because it's
really?
windy road, and B, there's a massive metal sculpture in this bando, and it's a good spot for them to take photos with fancy backgrounds. So apparently it's in all the car mags. But yeah, so we're flying in this spot and we're flying around it, and then I was, you know, you can fly through it quite nicely, and I did that a few times, and I was flying around the back, and then yeah, couldn't see it anymore, so punched the throttle to just get higher and hopefully get above the bando and get better signal, but it didn't come back. Just no, I didn't see my video anymore, so you know, hit disarm and start to go hunting in this kind of very wilderness, and then
this is with your Tyro 79, Andy.
Yep, that's the one.
And it came back with three legs on it, three wheels on its wagon.
We would have been hunting for a long time, but a lovely Spanish gentleman came over and said, "Are you looking for a drone?" And we said yes.
Did he speak in that accent? Can he do his accent?
No, I can't do his accent.
Disclaimer and then accent.
And it was not where it should be. Yeah, it was a bit lucky.
That's really good, though.
Where was your beeper I gave you, Frank? Why wasn't that on board? It would
Oh,
have been.
It was on board, but it was so far away, I wouldn't have heard it.
It's probably because it flew off like they all do.
After you punch the throttle for a while and nothing comes back, did you just leave your thumb there and say, well, eventually something's going to happen?
Well, it turns out it go quite far in a short amount of time.
They do. That's amazing that somebody like gave it you, though, because when that happened to me, they just ran away with it and stole it. So, and then a year later, they told me that they'd done that.
I was like very apologetic because I saw how close it landed to his car, and I was like, oh shit, that's not good.
But you've got BMFA insurance, though, right? So you'd have been covered.
Yeah, but either way, he was just like, oh no, it's fine, it's not a problem. He was perfectly happy about it. So I was like, wow, that's
cool.
That's a change in pace.
Let's all go to Spain. They sound pretty laid back about the holiday.
The thing is what you don't realize. I was doing a review, and a police car came down the street because I live in a cul-de-sac up north, and I was doing a review, and a police car came around, saw me. Well, actually, like saw me, and then just turned around and drove off. And it's like, it's all the media. It's nonsense, man. It's absolute nonsense.
But it was, it was the, basically the end of a weekend of flying in this lovely sunshine and nice weather.
Did you
Are you inviting me next time?
It's not me to invite you. You need to come up.
I'm going on my own then next time.
No, you're not, Tone. Not from what I've heard.
Shut up, Andy. Yeah, you can come.
Well, yeah, the only one. No, I won't be saying.
After that nice weekend, I had to go up to Barcelona for a meeting with work, which is kind of how I ended up going on the weekend anyway. I was being sent to Barcelona on work and extended that out into weekend in Spain.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, but the meat company I was going to have a meeting with on Tuesday in Barcelona decided on Saturday that they were cancelling all travel and meetings
because of the virus.
Yep.
Wow.
So I had a day in Barcelona instead.
Nice.
So,
I love Barcelona. Beautiful city.
Yeah, very nice. But yeah, so the couple of guys that I went down to south of Spain with, they are still out there, and I've seen them.
Well, Fraser's still out there.
And they're still down there,
Cool.
enjoying the rest of their week. And I've seen some footage. They've got their wings flying, at least briefly.
Nice.
And
briefly.
When you say briefly, was it as briefly as I last saw you flying a wing around those windmills? Because that was very briefly.
That was very briefly. I think it's been slightly less brief than that. But
oh my goodness, that is very briefly.
But they have had a similar experience as well, where I think one of the wings maybe didn't go where they intended it to go. But again, Spanish people are just helpful and don't complain about anything. I
think we should all move.
That's because they all have a nap at 12 o'clock and they're like, oh man.
So do you.
No.
Well, you can talk.
I don't have a nap at 12 o'clock. That's
not a nap if you've
bedtime.
constantly been asleep.
That's my choice.
I highly recommend the south of Spain for flying in. And actually, I took the train up to Barcelona. It was like through the middle of Spain, and it's just a beautiful country of lots of open space that I'm sure could be flown without any concern.
We should do an LDO trip there then.
Yeah. Did you just take the one quad then, Andy, and it broke on the last day, or was it like
basically? Yeah.
Should have took the Rat's Nest or the TS100 because they just never die.
You mean the TSX 220?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but it was a case of I'm only going for a weekend and I have limited space and I need to take like my suit and all my work stuff. So yeah, there's only so much to take.
But Curry, you sold another shirt. Well done.
Hey Jack, I don't know if you heard, but I said I want a hoodie that's got the Let's Drone Out logo, but then underneath "any good to you?" question mark written on it. What do you think? I think you can mark it.
We can do multiple designs thanks to Curry.
Yeah, but Let's Drone Out, any good to you? Of course it is. Best podcast, drone-based podcast in the UK.
Kind of drone-based.
Kind of drone-based, yeah. Speaking of drone stuff, Race Day Quads are taking the FAA to court, aren't they?
Damn you, Formula One Association! We'll have our day in court.
I should explain to the viewers I've been watching the Formula One documentary on Netflix, and I keep saying FIA instead of FAA. So
well, they shouldn't sue them for taking their business away.
Oh, they're saying it. No, I think they're saying it's unlawful what they're doing, and I believe there's a GoFundMe and all sorts of stuff, and good for them because, as we've said on this show, usually the UK just does copy and anything that they do in the USA, the UK does copy and paste about 3 years later,
One thing that has made me laugh about the whole situation is that there is a Facebook post where they're talking about turning FPV into a religion, so that
so it's tax free.
Well, that's something that I could pray for.
I'm up for that.
So anyone who lives in the UK who goes to any medical thing or anything, and you listen to this show. When you have to fill in a form and it asks what religion FPV. So I'd like to submit a photo.
Could we make FPV our race instead? If we all identify as being ethnic origin FPV, then anything they try and do to stop us could be a hate crime.
Do that as well if you want.
Only thing is we need a god, so that's going to be Chad Kappa, isn't it? Probably, if it's a religion. Yeah, because Scientology has got that. What's his name?
Why can't we have Frank?
What about like Barconi
He's
or
got
someone
a holy glow.
Nah, Chad Kappa was like the catalyst.
No, I think
Why don't we just
Larry.
Why don't we just worship the mystical magic smoke? That can be our god.
magic blue smoke?
No, it has to be a,
Sharpoo, yeah.
has to be a
What do you
bloke
think,
full
Frank?
of bullshit. Oh, sorry, Swore.
Sharpoo, yeah. Sharpoo is our god. That is it. And one day he will return. Genius.
It makes sense.
yeah, the rapture.
Yeah.
That works.
First he
Yeah.
was a lamb, and then he will return as a lion.
Don't we need like 10 commandments there? Shall we come up with some commandments?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thou shalt not switch on when somebody else is flying at a bando and right in front of you when you're in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good. I like that
Thou
one.
shalt not discriminate between whether you are using HD FPV or analog FPV.
Thou shalt not cover other man's quad.
Thou shalt not dive bridges in Canada.
Thou shalt not let Tony solder anything.
Yeah.
That's very specific, that one. Thou shalt not watch LDO win. Said.
God. There's £100 reward if anyone can get a soundbite of Sharpoo saying, "I am the Lord, thy God. There shall be no other FPV gods before me."
Begone all RC dog walkers, Mr. Fruity Cakes. I like that one. Yeah.
Thou shalt not lick 6S batteries, says Neil Jones.
Oh no, that should be mandatory. That one. That's in the thou shalt do.
Yeah. Thou shalt not take FPV in vain.
Like Aries, thou shalt not say last pack. That's a good one. Very good.
I think we've got above 10 here.
This is now what we should all have on our jumpers and shirts.
Yeah, there you go.
We make a shirt with like the 10 Commandments and then like a religious
write your gear, write your stuff on the back, and send pictures to LDO. We'll display them on the LDO.
Like Sharpoo displaying stigmatism, but instead of nails through his hands, it's prop shafts.
Thou shalt take props off on the bench.
Yes, before powering on.
Yes.
The Clive FPV, thou shalt only fly a rate, mate.
Yeah, there's
this could go on for like the entire show.
Scary. Speaking
Right,
of,
we'll have some new T-shirts coming out soon.
yeah. So I'm going to take it down a bit of a downer, but a bit of a history lesson for you. I'm sorry, but originally the show started on the Thursday night show, and for years, what year was it?
5 years ago.
4 and a bit.
Only 5, isn't it? Sure.
No.
We moved over.
Yeah. Well, when did the show start? I'm just messaging Sharpoo to see whether it's okay to make him our FPV god.
Yeah, he'll understand that one.
Jerry Squire says it started in 2004. No.
It moved over when you guys took me captive very soon, because I was like, I didn't understand why there was 2 channels.
We were going for years before you.
Oh, I know that. No, I know you go, but what you said, when did it switch over to its own thing? Because it was originally on Jack's channel, right?
So we started August 2015, and then we moved. So that was on the Thursday night show, and then we moved from the Thursday night show to poweringon.co.uk in May 2016. So we're on there for the first sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. There we go. The 9-month gestation period on the Thursday night show.
That's a baby.
Yeah. And then we moved over on to Powering On for a couple of months. But then we went over to your YouTube Hangouts, and then for another few months, and then we went over to the LDO Hangouts. We were there for a good year or two, and then we've ended up here eventually.
I like how people are carrying on with the commandments in the chat. Thou shalt not touch their face. Oh my god. That's only a temporary
Thou shalt wash their hands for 10 seconds. Thou shalt not covet toilet paper.
Thou shalt not put fat sharks at the sun.
Yeah, exposed. Hey, Sharpoo, I just want to see if it's okay. We all agreed that we want to make you our god.
Because FPV is now religion. It's tax-free.
That we want to start a new religion. He hates my emails. And we have
as well.
decided to make you our god.
It's interesting how we are a British podcast, but we are choosing a non-British
He's Mexican.
person. Oh, he's well, I never mentioned.
Hope that's okay with you. Kind regards, Jack. That dickhead.
Who shits his pants a lot. Then no, it is then.
From LDO.
Jack, please put at the end, please send toilet paper. Can you turn water into toilet paper?
BS. And yeah, we got to make up like miracles from him and stuff. Like, you know,
exactly. There you go.
He once tuned a quad using only 4.
Produced 40 lipos.
Yeah.
And we all flew. There was only 7 channels, but he made them 8.
He parted all of the he parted all of the weather storms so that we could pass through and fly FPV.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We've got someone in the chat who's been on the show. Look.
Hey, make me laugh. What was I going to say, Frank? Are you going to go on a holy FPV pilgrimage? Didn't we do that once to the dog shit bin?
We did. To the dog shit bin.
Oh my god. The sexiest man alive.
Every time.
Oh, I like that tailspin. Let there be flight.
Oh, gee. Yes.
NJ immediately regrets joining. I can feel it.
Got your bog rolling, NJ?
Hey?
Got your bog rolling?
Oh, are we talking coronavirus? Is that what's happening? How did I know?
He's still
he
new.
said, "Let there be flight."
What we're talking about, NJ, is
we just made Sharpoo our god.
So somebody.
Oh, that's all good.
Somebody mentioned that FPV should be a religion, therefore we would have to pay taxes. So we're coming up with commandments, and we're choosing our god. Jack thinks it should be Sharpoo. I think really it should be Painless 360 because flying.
Oh, he's like one of the right-hand men.
Well,
he's a disciple, I think.
We've got to put him at least on apostle status, but
yeah.
What about Jesus then? Because we're talking about God, but we need a Jesus, don't we?
Who's Judas?
Judas is probably as much. I don't know. It's either Steele or Chad Kappa, and they kissed him on the cheek. And then I don't know who the Romans are.
Judas,
huh?
I see Bardwell as a Judas for some reason.
Oh, disclaimer.
Not that he's done anything wrong. I could just see him playing that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look what 5 FPV put.
Yeah, dog shit bin is. Yeah. We can all sort of gather around it and pray and things.
The thing is, we're going to have to crucify Sharpoo on a prop.
We'd have to get some pegs for our noses.
Instead of like, it's slightly up.
It's going to be upwards, isn't it?
You'll wear props around our necks.
I have got a prop necklace. I actually just threw it away.
God. This is getting out of hand.
You threw it away, Tone. Is that because you replaced it with the pearl necklace?
Andy, you're on a roll tonight.
Sorry, Tone. I'm happy for you, man.
So guess what arrived back today? That came back from the Netherlands.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fixed it.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, so, well, I don't really know. But I was expecting them to provide information in a note, and instead they just put back in the print that I'd already sent with the case number that they asked for. And I haven't tested it yet, but I said the telemetry wasn't working, and it's back. And it's so, in terms of the DJI customer care experience, you've got to whinge. Because originally, I don't know if I mentioned that, but this was, I got this on a deal when I got the goggles. I got two of these and the goggles for a really good price. Yes, 2 air units from Banggood. I bought it end of last year. And just one of these, the MSP didn't work. And I tried everything, went through some troubleshooting with the DJI tech support, and they very quickly realized there was a problem. And then they tried to charge me to repair it. And I said, this is new out the box, and that's not good enough. And then they said, well, we only support you regionally, and it was bought in China, so you'll have to send it back to them, and then they can. And I said, that's bullshit. So they, after enough moaning, they agreed to get it done for free, and the whole turnaround time on this was about 2 weeks. So beware, DJI might do that if you get anything from somewhere that isn't your particular area or nation. If you get it from outside of the UK, then DJI will try, and even if it's new out of the box, it's more than likely they'll turn around and say no, we're not going to cover it. So I think that's BS, because you've got to cover your product. What a warranty on your product. If it's new out of the box, doesn't matter where it's distributed. If it's from an official reseller,
that's definitely either. You may have been unlucky. Just from working in customer service, sometimes you can get the person on the phone that is absolutely clueless, or email or whatever. But maybe they have changed their policy.
She quoted me text from their policy.
Oh, okay. Because I had a Phantom 4, which I bought from China, and I mentioned before it developed a dead pixel on the camera, and there was no questions asked at all. And I used the email address that I don't associate with my channel, because I never want preferential treatment. And they were like, yeah, no problem. So I wonder if it's just that they've gotten so big that their customer service, that they've had to sort of bring in some rules like that. But even so, they still eventually honored what you said. So
yeah, I mean, it's not the way it should have been done.
It's not the way it should be.
If I wasn't me, someone else might have walked away a little bit disgruntled by the whole experience. That was kind of their stance on things. If I had it in the quad, and I mean, even then, if they say it's got a warranty and you haven't drowned it in water, and it's a sensible reason for something, I mean, there's an argument there for a bit of a battle between me and them in terms of proving problems. But to actually just cut the seal and take it out of the box and have a problem, not even installed yet, I think that certainly shouldn't. That should be a clear-cut case for replacement with a company.
I think so, because this is a type of product that you might use worldwide, and you might buy things overseas, a bit like GoPros should be the same sort of thing. If you buy one of those overseas, you don't generally have a problem getting service in the UK. So
exactly.
It is weird that they've had such an issue with it. Although some companies tend to split things into like regions. Like here's EMEA, which is like Europe and bizarrely Middle East. That's that region, and then like Asia Pacific is another one. But it's still, shouldn't be like that.
There's also the other thing as well, that their camera drone operations, so your Mavics, your Phantoms, is a completely separate team, department, rules to the FPV side of it. Just from working with them, that they're not even connected. So maybe there's something in that, because we're much smaller than the camera drone thing. So maybe you get, because there's more money, obviously, probably 95% more profit in a camera drone.
I guess so, but at the end of the day, for me, that's their infrastructure that they have to get sorted, because if it's a DJI product, it's got their reputation on it.
Yeah.
However small the department, they've got to make sure that every action made by that company, however small the department, is a reflection on
the company.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how other people got on previously with DJI stuff, which is something I mentioned in the email. Because I've had a lot of their products over the years, I've never had a problem. So I should put that in as context. It was just this latest thing, but it was interesting that they quoted me policy. And I just simply turned around and said, none of this. If you're distributing this to official, you pick your sellers. If you're selling it to someone like Banggood, who's officially licensed to sell DJI stuff, and they haven't stipulated that somewhere on the web page for the sale of this product, that if you buy this, we will only. They're quite happy to say, 2-year warranty or whatever all over it, but they need to stipulate the warranties only for the region that they sell it in. But they retracted pretty quickly anyway. It's
kind of a dilemma though, because it is so much of a saving for us buying it from there, isn't it? I mean, you essentially get a free controller if you buy the stuff from there. So yeah, it's a tricky one.
I think I caught them at a good time, because I got such a good deal on that, and I think that was only a small run where they chucked a load of them out at that price, the goggles and the two. I think it was the goggles and the 2 air units for like, it was just under $600. It was super cheap.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So
all that happened was that it was that good of a deal that it went out of stock. I think it might be back in stock now. So I don't know whether the deal's still on though, because this whole coronavirus thing has really set back, well, everybody, but DJI a lot, because we were getting a lot of updates to this FPV system before this virus came out, and then it was like, it's like nothing,
I think people are starting to go back into offices now.
They are. The problem is that the retailers are, but the workers aren't. So the retailers are there with no stock, apart from the stuff that they had. But the companies that are like being super precautious are not making the stuff. This is what the Cadex Vista has really suffered, because I was lucky enough to get sent one, and thinking that there's going to be an abundance of these, and then Chinese New Year and the coronavirus happened, and the production of them stopped, and you can't get hold of them for love nor money now. So it's really thrown a spanner in the works, but probably not the most important problem when it comes to the coronavirus. Really, everybody's health way more important than everything.
Toilet paper.
I think everyone's getting hit in some way or another. I mean, normally that when various things like this happen, I never really think it never affects, certainly in my main business, it never really affects it. But the problem I've got, apart from traveling all over the world, especially if we have a huge outbreak here, which is looking fairly likely, not to scare anyone, but it's looking likely this thing's going to take hold now.
Did you watch the Parliament thing today?
They might stop us traveling out to other countries that haven't got it that bad, and that then makes an issue for me. And the other one is in the countries where I'll be working, where they're obviously, France were already doing this, where they're stopping mass gatherings over 5,000. I think the numbers might be even less than that now. That's also a problem for the entertainment industry, the music industry. So yeah, it's,
everybody really, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out.
I have seen a couple of posts on Facebook about sort of questioning if this is going to have an effect on Western Park. I think that sort of at the moment, no one really knows how it's going to go. So,
it comes down to people's levels of fear over this thing. I mean, it's a little bit nastier than flu.
Yeah, and they cancelled the motor show.
So we've had the first death in the UK today as well, I believe.
But again, a lot of that stuff, because I think the media always make this stuff. Like, I mean, last year there was 600 deaths just from flu. You know, it's not. Right. They're just going to make a breaking news and scare the crap out of people. But I mean, even looking at the statistical data, which I did, I don't really care about this so much, but looking at a lot of the statistical data, what I've seen is even the high risk groups, which is people over 70 with pre-existing conditions like diabetes, like any kind of pre-existing lung conditions, things like that. They've said you're talking around 10%, whereas for the vast majority of us, it's like 1%. It doesn't matter. You're going to get through it and it'll be fine. Just be nasty for a few days and that's it. But the way to look at it is, of the highest risk group, over 70 with pre-existing conditions, there's a 90% chance you'll be fine. And that's the way to look at it. Not a 10% chance I'm going to
I'm worried about the economy more than getting ill.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's completely killed out. It's killed everything that.
It's going to slowly catch up, you know.
What about
a few months?
What about people that are on immune suppressors, NJ?
Immune suppressors. Well, I think there are certain people that should definitely be hiding away. And I mean, there's a few people from China I've spoken to have said just hid away as much as possible, and they've been fine. In fact, most of my contacts have all been fine, and them and their family haven't caught anything out there. I've spoken to most of my contacts because more out of interest to see which, and they're all quite forthcoming about saying, you know, that they've all got friends that have, and blah blah blah. But most of them have been fine. But yeah, interesting times.
All right. Can I just squeeze this in? So back in the day,
you were saying something.
Yeah, back in the day,
20 minutes ago,
we were on this platform called the Thursday Night Show, and if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to post a link at the end of the show, and if we all click on it, have a listen. God knows what's on at the time after we finish the show, but it'll be nice to give like a nice big boost to their numbers if we all go and tune on. Because one of the people that used to be a regular is old Father Shine, and unfortunately he passed away today.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. So he
long-suffering
liver.
I was going to say long-suffering DJ that would big up the sort of audience, and then we would go in and take over and bore the shit out of these people that tuned into the music.
Oh.
Yeah. So. I'll post a link, and it'll just be nice to, all go over there, press F in chat, RIP, old Father Shine. It would just be a nice thing to do. Remember where we came from.
You don't do that anymore then, Jack? Because
Aniseed, if you're listening to this, you're an arsehole. I am so below his priorities. I'm even below posting on Instagram, posting on Twitter. I'm below him dyeing his hair.
You've set him off now.
Real low. I am a piece of shit on his shoe.
I'm still waiting for the J explosion.
God. So to quickly change the subject, there's been a kind of explosion of things on the BMFA Facebook.
Nice link.
Oh,
it was about the French remote ID system. So it looks. I mean, I haven't looked at it in detail. I just saw it just as we were going live. But I will post the link in that I saw. It looks like there was a French kind of remote ID for anything between 800 grams and I think 2 kilograms because of particular reasons. That's going to come in sort of July when all the EASA rules come in, and the French bringing something in there. So if anyone is in France or knows about the French rules of FPV and model aircraft and all that kind of stuff, and wants to get in touch and let us know exactly what this all means, I would personally be interested to know, because if someone's actually bringing in some remote ID rules, then probably it will set a precedent and other things might follow. So I'd be interested to know what the details are.
Well, I have a friend who used to do reviews and was based in France, and he said the FPV regulations have always been extremely strict in France, so it doesn't surprise me that they're on board with this. I think I could be making this up, but I'm sure he said like the power output is something like 10 milliwatts or something like that. When it comes to, I could have just made that up, but I'm sure I heard. I know for sure. Well, he stopped Sebi Doki. Shout out to Sebi Doki if people know him. He was one of the first people that started doing reviews actually, and stopped because he was just fed up of the whole system.
Yeah, no, Sebi.
Yeah,
over 800 grams is fine with me if they make that a thing. But I think even my heaviest builds are under 7. So if they bring that rule in, that'll work fine for me. I'll certainly take most of the 5-inch and under out of the need for it. So that wouldn't be such a bad idea.
There's a lot of people saying in the chat. So Mr. Shady said the USA FAA protest was a bit cacking. Can anyone translate that? And then someone saying
maybe you got the wrong letter.
Lacking, yeah.
Lacking. Oh, yeah. And then I was surprised how few people were there. Yeah. One thing I did like though is that people had signs that said "God loves FPV," and if you know about the Westboro Baptist Church, that's a fantastic sign to have, because God hates whatever they like to put on their sign.
Anybody in the Westboro Baptist Church generally,
but yeah,
specifically, which we won't go into.
No, we won't go into. But I love the sign "God loves FPV." I really I like that. Yeah, I didn't really follow it that much because it just becomes it just takes the fun out of it for me. People say, "Oh, you're an influencer. You should, people like Bruce and Stu and that talk about regulations." But oh man, I just find it so unfun. I know it's important, but I find it so
unfun. It does.
It just sucks that. I absolutely love flying, but you know what? My eyes light up when I'm working on my RC car, and I never thought I would ever say that sentence, and that's because there is no stigma attached to my RC car, and it's basically
you set off the fire alarms, then
it's basically like a bomb in RC form. Yeah, it's fine because it doesn't fly.
He did say bomb, didn't you?
Yeah. We have to make sure that we say bomb in every episode. It's a thing, isn't it? NJ, what have you been up to, man? I haven't heard much of you. Not criticizing. I know you've got a busy year. Have you been flying much? You've been. What's happened with your? What's happened with your chopper? What's happened with your chopper? Helicopter, I mean.
The highest on that list is not flying because of the freaking weather.
Oh man,
right. Rain all day today, isn't it?
I've been doing a lot of simming on Discord, actually, just learning and working out some new clever ideas for maneuvers. So I think what I'll probably start doing is just because you can live stream in Discord when you're doing stuff like that. So I think I'm just gonna go in Discord and just do that. So people want to come and hang out, we can chat and use it as a therapy session for not getting to fly because of our cyclic storm situation at the minute.
You say that, but Lee called me today and he sent me a picture and said it was absolutely glorious up there, and I sent him one back of the massive rainstorm and puddles outside my house and told him he won. Was it good up there, Andy, for today?
Yes, it was, and I didn't fly. We had zero wind.
Was it sunny up north?
We had zero wind, bright sunshine, and
why didn't you fly?
Because
literally caned it down here.
Because I've had a day of drama, which is pretty much every day.
For after the show, Andy?
It's on Facebook. If you,
the prize thing.
Yeah, people trying to scam, pretending to be the winner of your.
This is like someone you announced a winner and someone set up like a Gmail address and then. account and said, "It's me. Here's my email address."
Yeah. So I've been.
Did you
so
get his address, the cheater?
No. Everybody's saying you should do this, but I
Because
guess
we should all send him hard poo-poo. Or definitely Jack's poo-poo.
So for people
That's
that
got
don't
loads.
So for people that don't know what I'm talking about, everybody got the Mobula 6 and was raving about it, and I was due to get one, and it got cancelled because it was so popular that it went out of stock. So I received it really late, and I was like, oh man, is there anything that I can add to this thing? You've got one, haven't you, Wayne? Hands up?
Yeah,
who's
I
got...
actually. The very rare instance where I got something before you. I got one.
Yeah.
Hooray for me.
Yeah. F you. I'm just kidding. No, but I've been using it for other stuff. So I did I did the DJI analog versus Fat Shark analog video and stuff like that. But anyways, I realized that this Mobula 6 was like really special, and I really had to pull some strings. I thought, what would be a really cool thing is to give one of these things away, because the weather is shite. Sorry, editor. And
he's got a lot to do tonight.
Yeah. And it's all I've been flying, and it's such a beast. I mean, for indoor, whether you're flying in the house, I got the indoor sports hall. I'm lucky. No prop wash, just a superb model. Very little voltage sag, despite having a PH2 connector, but it's got PH2. This is almost like me doing my review. I haven't reviewed it. It's got the PH2, but it's got the solid pin, really thick PH2 connector pins, and it doesn't kill your batteries as open pin ones do. So I thought, oh man, there's probably not at this point not much point of me doing a review, but I wonder if I can pull some strings to do like a giveaway of it. And I managed it despite there such a low amount of stock, and I did this giveaway thing and announced the winner today, and within seconds, this is what I think it was, maybe someone who had set up a bot, or I don't know how they'd done it. In seconds of me posting the winner, somebody posted the email address. They had made a channel exactly the same name as the winner, and I kind of always anticipated this, but never thought it would actually happen. But yeah, somebody pretended to be the winner when it wasn't them. Nice. And so I was dealing with
FPV gods will sort him out. Sharpo,
we will smite him.
Oh, damn him!
Falsely lipos.
I don't even think it's a person, because it was done so fast, and I'm like, and they'd never remove their comment. If it was a person, they'd surely remove the comment, but it's still there. You can go and look at it. But the happy ending was that I found the actual winner. One important thing to do when you do a giveaway is get the URL of the person's channel, and that was the thing they didn't match. I mean, so that's why I couldn't fly in the beautiful sunshine today. I've got one of the things that Tony loves, actually. That thing that everybody thinks they're going to die when Tony flies.
Hey.
This was meant to be today's video, but unfortunately, dealing with the drama and trying to sort all that out, it went dark too quick. But yeah, we have had good weather up here today.
I was about to say, I think we need to call that the bagged parts deorganizer.
Yeah.
Based on what Tony did with his down at Makerspace.
That thing's 6S. I couldn't. It's mad.
Is it?
It's so noisy. It's the noisiest thing.
They are really noisy.
Yeah. They're
wee high revving, aren't they?
Yeah. This is 6S. This thing, and yes. It's called the Flywoo version, but I've got some.
Where did that come out of China? The same place as the virus?
We should get on, if I can convince him to do it, is to get you all know who Wayne Ho is, right? Works at TBS, yeah.
Yeah.
We better chat about lots of things with him. I might have a chat with him later, see if I can convince him to come on, and because TBS seem to be coming out with a bunch. Did you see he posted a thing on a couple of like a see-through case version of the Tango 2 and a couple of other bits and pieces?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, are yours turned up then, Andy?
Yes,
Very,
the non-pro
90s.
version that is very difficult to get out of the carry pouch because the effing sticks don't bend like everybody else's. But I'm not bitter.
Yeah, mine still hasn't shipped, so it's going to be a while.
It's gonna. Yours is what? Sorry.
Still
I
hasn't
did
shipped.
a conversation with other Wayne about getting the Tango 2 working on the sim actually, but yeah, I'm without Tango 2. Boo.
Boo. Oh, Andy RC, have a word.
Have a word with what?
Trappy.
No, to be fair, I did have a word with Tracker. That's how I ended up with one. I think I told the story.
For Curry
they had for
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you know,
look, the latest hottest sim.
Funnily enough, he approached me. I didn't approach him, which was cool.
Is it really approaching if it's Grinder?
I have to think about that one.
He sells bud grinders.
Is that true?
Yeah, the TBS grinder.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You mean comic grinders, surely?
Yeah, he approached me, but I tell you what, he completely. When I was chatting to the dude, oh man, we chatted for ages, and I don't know if it's true, but he said we're sold out of the pro version. I'll send you the non-pro version. Are you okay with that? I was like, whatever, you know. Yeah, because it's had a lot of stick, hasn't it? The Tango, it's had quite a bit.
What, the first one or the second one? What are you talking about?
Next week we've got Painless back on. So if you've been enjoying the Painless managed episodes, then
managed.
Hang on. I need to.
I just wanted to say, you know, with I believe he's been playing around a lot with the TBS Tango 2, so it's probably a good one to watch if you're interested in that.
Nice.
But it's time to call it for this week. So I think Jack just wants to point everyone towards the Thursday night show.
Yep. And I wanted to give that shout out to that guy who was like, get rid of Jack. Painless is way better. What was his name? Oh yeah,
Andy.
on social tab.
Andy, can you play us out, please?
Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I want Curry and I to do a duet.
Yeah, play us out.
The link is in the chat. Go there. Right. Rest in peace, Shine.
I should warn you, as far as the music goes, one of us is very talented and the other one is LDC. So
I'm not talented. I've forgotten it already.
NJ's talented.
No, you weren't listening. Were
Andy,
you?
can you play the music so that I can? We should.
I'm just
It
warming up.
really should be NJ doing this.
What's happening?
Should we make it a bit more gospel and like praise our Lord and Savior Sharpoo?
Is this? Do you want me to play it, Andy?
Yeah, play it and they can do it over the top.
Yeah, play.
Thanks, guys. You've been listening to Let's Go Now.
Got it.
Oh, this is my new ringtone. Well, funny. I haven't laughed for a little while.
He's taking his headphones off, but he's giving up.
Did it sound that bad? Was it too loud?
That's great. It's nice.
All right,
Editor, can you put that on the start?
I was restringing the guitar when we started the thing, and they were like,
Does anyone play recorder? I think that's the only way.
And we need like a kazoo and a swanny whistle. Right, bye.
Yes, I broke the Thursday night show. Yes.